Hello, this is Dread from Epic Builds, and in today's video topic, we are going to go over quickly how to craft and make loot filters in the new patch, because it's an entirely different process than before. The intro is being cut short because we need to go in game, and I don't want to waste your time. All right, so we're going to go through the basics of crafting in 8.4 because it has completely changed since last patch. So, what items do you want to craft on? You want to craft on rares. Why is that? Well, if we look over here in my inventory here, I prepared a few items. This is a magic item. This dropped with 11 potential. That is absolute garbage. So like for instance, I'm going to throw it in my inventory and I'm going to try to roll, like for instance, let's just say like Melee Void, right? Now what's going to happen is I'm going to use the Glyphs of Hope first, which will give us a 25% chance to ignore the forging potential. So it's going to take 1 to 14. So we're already like risking that the craft will take all of the forging potential. So we're going to do that. And bam, literally just took all the forging potential. And this is a garbage item. So that's why we do not want magic items. Obviously, you can use them in the campaign to like level up and stuff, but later on, you want rare items. And why is that? Well, as you can tell, you want 3 to 4 modifiers and they will drop with much more forging potential. As you can tell, this dropped with 24 instead of 11, which is a lot more and allows you to actually use it. So this item, I want to use it for instance, I'm going to play Frostbite Spriggan, and to play Frostbite Spriggan, I have to use Ice Branch. So it'll turn all of my poison chance into Frostbite chance. Now, the thing is, we need to reroll this shock into poison chance, right? So how we do that is we're going to take a Glyph of Chaos and we're going to try to reroll it. So a Glyph of Chaos will upgrade the tier by 1 and then reroll it into something it could be on that suffix. So for instance, it could be poison on hit, ignite on hit, it could be like stun. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as it can exist there, it will reroll into it. And that's including class modifiers on like helmets and stuff like that as well. So we're going to try to roll it. And we got an ignite on hit. Now, the thing is, I do want frostbite instead, so we're going to try it again, right? We got increased stun chance, which is not what we want, which is fine. And then, bam, we got slow on hit. So as you can tell, that craft bricked, but let's just say if we hit poison chance there, then I could have just slammed cast speed and put the elemental damage over time up, and this would have been a perfect wand for that kind of build. And the thing is, these aren't like very rare items. They drop all the time, and that's why you need a good loot filter. But before we get into that, I want to say exalted items are insane to craft on. They drop with insanely high amount of potential. I was crafting this chest earlier and it had 48 crafting potential. I've seen upwards to like 50 plus as well. And exalted items have better rolls in terms of crafting potential, and that's why I was able to removal 2 mods off this and then add 2 new mods. I was removed off the prefix and I removed off one of the suffixes, and I was able to put T5 vitality and T5 life on it. So exalted items are insane for crafting. Now for the loot filter, what you need to actually get the items you want is I have prepared a loot filter. Let me move my head here. I have prepared a loot filter for just everybody in general. This is what I call fill your own loot filter. Loot filters have gotten way easier this patch, thanks to the fact that you're not looking for magic items with your modifiers. You're just looking for rares with 3 to 4 affixes, because with the Glyph of Chaos, being able to reroll undesirable mods like that 18 Melee Flat Lightning could easily be Melee Fizz, and this could be a good item, or Melee Crit, right? Now we just want items with modifiers on it with high forging potential. That's what we want. High forging potential, low tier of mods, and 3 to 4 mods, high forging potential, and low tier of mods. That's what we want. 3 to 4 mods, high forging potential, low tier mods. That's what we want. So we can Glyph of Chaos them into what we want. This is a completely different system than last time, and that's why you're probably sucking in terms of gearing. And this also reflects in the loot filter. So I have prepared this for you. Let me explain it. So unique set exalted, obviously you want to see every single one because they could have legendary potential like this one does, and this could be turned into a legendary item, but we're not going to get into that with this video. I'll probably make a new video about legendary items and what to do with them. And then of course, If you want to see that video, please like, comment, and subscribe as well. And I will probably end up be making this video in like a few days. Now, so for red, this is like your idle slots. Just figure out what idols you want, then recolor it. You could always change the color as well. Then I would recolor class affixes that are important for you. So for instance, for my build right now, +2 entangling roots is really good, and I need +2 to make the build feel really good. So I want to see every single item with entangling roots on it, no matter what, whether to fracture it for more plus to skills or whatever. And it depends on your build, and that's why you're going to go through and just fill out what you want. And then now all of these are all of your item bases. These will show you rares with 3 to 4 affixes. So it's no type with at least 3 to 4. You could do it differently. You could do it by rarity, but I like this instead because later on, if you want to be much more specific, you can go through and take out mods. But all this is, it's so easily laid out. All you have to do is find which item base. Like for instance, this build I'm playing right now, I want obsidian scepters as an item base so I can craft a better obsidian scepter. So what I'm going to do is go here, go to item type, go to one-handed weapon. We're going to go to one-handed scepter and then can click confirm. And then we can go through and specifically choose which base type I want. So for instance, I am okay with an obsidian scepter and an argent scepter, right? And now I click confirm and bam. Now you'll see all rare argent and obsidian scepters that could possibly be rolled into a weapon. Like for instance, this weapon did not start out with spell damage. I had to re-roll a glyphic chaos. I think I re-rolled it 4 times and it didn't roll anything. And then I took the chance on the rune of removal to pull it off. And then I put the spell damage on afterwards. That's how much forging potential some of these items can have. And that is why you want to search for just rare items with high forging potential. So when an item that is rare like that will drop on the ground, you can look at it and be like, hey, that's a lot of forging potential. I can make that into something. Now for the process of crafting, what the rules of crafting, in my opinion, would be to take an item, right? Let's say I'm trying to find an item with forging potential here. So if you have 1 mod you like and 2 mods you do not like and high forging potential, what you can do is run a rune of removal. Let's pretend I like this intelligence, right? And I want to get rid of one of these mods so I can put hybrid health on it. We're going to do that and bam. Now let's just say now we have room for hybrid health. Now the problem is I want to turn this void res into like crit avoidance, right? So we're going to try to go with a glyph of chaos. And we got block chance instead, which is actually really good because this could be good for something else. So now we're going to go and put on hybrid health. Now, if you had an item with 2 mods that you like and 1 mod you don't like, then you use or 3 mods, right? You could run a glyph of chaos instead to try to re-roll it. So like, for instance, let's pretend this one. I don't like that. Oh, that was the wrong one. I don't like that chill on. Let's say I don't like that void damage, right? Let's say I'm doing like a physical damage, but I like the chill and I like the physical damage. Actually, yeah, we're going to rune of chaos it until we get a desirable mod. We got melee fire damage. So the crit success system kind of screws you over sometimes. And I didn't get a mod that I wanted. So we're going to go for a rune of removal. And I pulled it off and look, I still have 10 potential. So now what I can do is I can try to put cast speed on it, right? Let's say I wanted cast speed and obviously it bricked, but you see where I'm going with this, right? You just keep going. So for instance, these gloves, since we're finished with them, now what we can do is we can go for hybrid health, right? We're going to go with hybrid health here because I want it on my gloves. And sometimes it'll roll within 1 potential, 20 potential, or 25% chance to roll no potential. You're always going to be using these if you're trying to craft on mods you want. There, that's 2, that's 3, and that's 4. Now, what we can do is the lower item mods have lower chances to roll bad modifiers. So for instance, we're going to try to roll this intelligence. So as you can tell, the forging potential, like the difference gets higher. And the reason why you want to craft on lower forging potential stuff first is because the chances of you getting a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, or whatever, all the way up to 7 is much higher than if you went for a 1 through 24, right? So you want to be going on the lower first. Look at that. See that? Now, If you're at the last craft, the most beautiful thing, no matter what you do, your last craft will always succeed. No matter what you do, it will always succeed. You don't brick your item, you actually get the modifier, and that's why you save those last crafts for tier 5s because you have the lowest forging potential. But since it always goes, I could have, if I had still had like one forging potential, I could take one of these and roll it to tier 5, and bam, I got tier 5 items. And this is a decent pair of gloves for like a minion build that's using a shield that isn't using Bastion, but whatever. But still, you get what I mean though. That could have been different mods, any kind of mods. That's the beautiful thing about this system, is the fact it's so generic. You could literally craft anything. You could drop any item and craft anything, and it's like absolutely beautiful. Now, I'm going to touch on despairs a little bit. So runes of despair were added, glyphs of despair were added this patch, and the way they work is you take an item, you add it'll upgrade the item once, or it has a small chance to despair it, meaning it will seal it to a different slot. So let me show you some sealed items here. So for this one is my sealed item. So I made this item earlier. I actually dropped it and I sealed the attack speed so that I could add another prefix. Now, so I took the attack speed to tier 4 and then I tried to seal it. And it went to tier 4, it stayed tier 4, but then it went into its own slot, so I could add another prefix, which I did, which was the melee crit strike chance. Now, for reference, this started with 40 potential, so you require a lot of potential to make these things work. Now, I'm saving the potential on it to actually Rune of Creation it and dupe it so I can make a build with it, right? So we have 2 of them because this is an insane sword for that. But yeah, that is how you use the seal system. So what you want to do is you want to stockpile items with decently high forging potential, like this one, right? Now, I could turn this minion health into a seal, right? I have 2 sealed chances to turn this into a sealed modifier, and then I could add something like minion health regen on this as well. And then this becomes best in slot for like a lot of minion builds, right? For Primalist. So that is why you want to be getting prepared with these kind of items, because you could roll a Rune of Sealing. Or for instance, this item, I could roll this health regen into a Rune of Sealing, and then I could put hybrid health there instead. And then now I have like literally the best pair of boots I've ever seen, right? Stuff like that. For instance, this wand here, this wand has a ridiculous amount of forging potential. So I could actually seal, I could change the shock chance, right? Change it, or I can try to Rune of Removal the shock chance or whatever, or something like that, and try to do that as well. This is going to be really good for a different build. But yeah, you want high forging potential, low tiers, 3 to 4 mods. I tried to seal this one twice, but the problem is it just went up. So now I'm going to seal one of the suffixes instead, and then I'm trying to seal either the health or the endurance. I have 2 chances at this, right? And then I can put increased health on it as well, and then bam, this becomes an insane helmet, right? That's why the sealing system is so strong as well. Same thing with this helmet. I could seal away the cooldown recovery speed or the health regen and then put increased health regen there instead, and then go for tier 5s on everything, because like I said, the last craft always succeeds, meaning that if I had 1 forging potential and I wanted to go from tier 4 to tier 5, which I'm going to do when I seal it, it means that I will get the craft no matter what, and this will turn into an insane helmet. And with all that being said, I believe that's pretty much it for crafting today, at least for crafting rares and stuff. Thank you all for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day wherever you're at, and the legendary version of this video will come out eventually. Bye.